Hey, what's up, everybody? Semper BRT. This is week 8 of Finding Your Way. We have Toad, who is progressively getting better, getting more confident, trusting his strategy, and beginning to call out his trades, narrating his trades, teaching other members, which I think is one of the biggest um, things that a trader can do is find somebody they can teach it to. They can teach their strategy to because they'll make them reflect deeper into their strategy and hold them accountable and hold them to their word. You can't preach what you don't practice. So if you're actually training somebody, it's going to help you retain the knowledge, re, uh, look deeper into your strategy, so you can like start developing skills around your strategy where you can be like calling out your price action, where you want to see, what might happen, what you need to see before you get in, what needs to be happening when you get in. And you're going to start to see and train your brain to see that pattern, that good, consistent pattern. Eh, eh, Later on, you're going to be where if you get FOMO, your brain is going to stop you from taking a trade just because you're training your eyes and your brain to pick up good patterns, but you're also training your gut algo to keep you out of bad trades and get you into a high probability trade. So without further ado, we're gonna have him recap his trades, see what's he been up to, and see how it's going. So go ahead
Let's
and
get it.
share your screen, Toad.
Let's get it. All right. Share screen. All right. There we go. You should see this one.
Yeah, we see
Yeah.
the stars.
Cool. Yeah. The space wallpaper. These are gorgeous. These are actually that new satellite you guys heard about like 2 years ago. So I've got 4 days on live recording. Go ahead and
Nice.
actually I'm gonna put this on VLC.
Um, how many trades did you take this week or last week? And how many
Um,
were green?
Out of these four videos that are the 18th, the 19th, the 22nd, and the 24th. Actually, I don't think I traded much at the beginning of this week here. Um,
Last week?
yeah, but I should start go ahead and recording all of it, all of my stats, but I don't have the exact stats. But out of these 4 days, which are the full recordings, nothing taken out. Most of them are green, actually. I have one total red trade, and then I've got one that was a bad add-in that made me get stopped out for what ended up being just about break even
Hmm.
because I shouldn't have added in.
Have you
Um,
noticed that? Have you been noticing that you have a set of rules that you're following, and if you stick to them, your trade is has a higher chance of it playing out?
yeah, yeah, I have. I notice, especially when I focus on, um,
Your levels or your
yeah,
anchor VWAPs, or what are you talking
yeah.
about?
So my levels in the anchors, but also the MACD
Hmm.
on my time frames. I look
Yep.
for the 15. I look at the 15 MAC. I look at the 5 MAC, and I'm also now looking at the 30 Stoke.
Yep.
And following the trend on those, it definitely has resulted in. So these videos resulted in the confidence to hold these trades long for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, because some traders will scalp. They'll get in and out a trade. Some will hold the whole trade until it hits their target. Um, and that's how you train your brain. Either style is good, where you might take one trade and I'll take two trades, but we'll still end up with the same amount of, money, I guess, at the end. If you get in if you get in and out at the proper entry
Yeah,
and exits. Because you have fib strategy and then you have your VWAP, anchor VWAP strategy. You have the moving average strategy. You have what else? Mm, yeah, hidden fibs, supply and demand strategy that or ICT fair value gap strategy.
yeah,
And they all use like some use a mix of both. Take a target, don't get out of the trade, let it play out and move their stop loss. So another strategy has get in and let it ride to your target or your stop loss. And
yeah,
then there's the hyper scalping strategy where you get in at a target like your fib, lock in some 75%, let some ride. You can either profit stop or you can stay in the trade or a
right.
trail stop. So those are all different types of strategies and stops, and it's up to you to see what fits your style. What do you feel more comfortable with? What can you tolerate the most without making you nervous? And if you have to have a stop, I highly recommend one of Whiplash. He said makes a good point. If you don't have your stop on, and you're new and you're struggling with stops or back holding, you should definitely have a hard stop in.
Yeah,
Um, if you get stopped out, you know, journal the trade. Why did you get stopped out? Was your stop in a proper location? Were your levels proper? Was your fib accurate? Was your anchor VWAPs accurate? Could you have fibbed or anchored a different candle?
yeah,
And all that journaling helps you take a deeper dive into your trade. If you're not if you're not taking a trade, and even if it goes against you, journaling, then you're never going to correct the issue. And I had that same issue where I would just, well, I'll just take a mental note. I got FOMO and I got in. I shouldn't have done that. I won't do it next time.
right.
If you have mental notes, it's not gonna prevent you, or you're not doing anything beneficial to stop you from doing that later. And I think actually writing it down or typing it out and reflecting on that trade will train your brain or your body to not take that same trade later.
Yep.
So what day is this?
This is July 18th, so it's that last week on Thursday.
Cool, set it up. So this is pre-market after hours or live
This
or
right here is pre. Well, this is a live recording. Right at this point of the day, it's pre-market. The market just about to open. Looks like it's 9:28. And what I was looking at here from on my morning analysis was one thing. Here in the SPY anchors. So I'm trading QQQ, and I'm looking at SPY to get a sense of the whole trend as well. I'm going to open
Mhm.
up
Are you doing analysis just in the pre-market or the night before just to see what your levels look like, or are you leaving the levels on
both
from yesterday?
both when I'm disciplined enough to make sure to do it. Looking at doing that night before um, to let it marinate, as
Hmm.
Lasagna said once. And then yeah, and then in the morning to see if that's kind of validated. And then I'm looking at the um the trend. I'm looking at the trend. I'm looking at the daily, the weekly, the daily. I'm looking at the 1 hour, the third, like just trying to see what's aligned. This one trader who I actually knew just from like Instagram, like when he started off trading, and I don't know if he's faking it, only showing the winners, but he seemed to have blown up. And I asked him, I was like, what's your number one tip? Like I'm trying to trade too, and he said that when the higher time frames and the lower time frames are in alignment, you have more confidence.
Yep.
Just like that. So
Hmm.
when the 1 hour and the daily and the 30 minute, when they're all bullish, when that 1 minute flips bullish, you can trust that a lot more.
Hmm.
And that's helped a good bit. So on this day, looking at the night before and then the morning, I was looking at a critical level of this all-time high anchor on the 30 minute. Um, and then that also pushed the market into a sell signal. And then we had the next day, I think that's just one day, we had an anchor off the top that continued the sell signal, but now we gapped up over that on SPY, just barely. So we're going to open above that anchor, and we also gapped under the all-time high anchor. So what I wrote is looking for that to get a back test. Like I don't think it's going to gap under, just run looking for that to get a back test and then be short. So I was looking for a short on the day after perhaps a little bit of pop. And then so that's off SPY, and then off of the NQ or the QQQ daily. I'll get rid of. Let me drop this second fib. There we go. On the QQQ daily. So this was July 17th, the day just before this bar. And that was a gap down from, we got all-time high here, little big rejection, a little flag, gap down. I fibbed out this candle. Um, and then we were opening up in the pocket. So nothing crazy there. We were opening up at a half candle retrace. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
why'd you
Like
fib out that candle?
it was a gap down candle on a
Mm.
strong day. Um,
Yeah, it
Also,
looks like
Brandon
another
recommended it.
another gap. So I never heard him. I was out a little bit last week on vacation. So he says fib out the candle that gap down and
Yeah, this is actually in his YouTube. He said, which is funny, is in the YouTube, but then he didn't mention it too much in the meeting. But he said, fib out this gap down candle, but this is what we're going to be playing the next day. So I was like, okay, I'll fib that candle out. We're starting opening the day in the golden pocket. And then we were opening as well. I closed it, but at the right below that SPY all-time high. So I was short bias on the open at this point. Um, the 15 Mac definitely has like room to the upside. It looks like it's maxed out on the chart, but that's just because of the scaling. This was only at what is that 0.408, and they can go up to 40, 80. So
mhm.
um, the 5 was curling down. So a little bit of confirmation there that the one, or is this the 2 or the 1? This Mac, this small time frame Mac, is already curling down. And then I've also been watching the 30 Stoke. I just like I look for that to be in line with the 15 Mac. Um, or like kind of I treat those kind of similar for like, the trend over the next couple hours.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I saw those were high. The Stoke was near the top, and the 15 Mac looks like it could start curling down, and the 5 is doing it. So I was bearish off the open, um, but also looking for any support that could have been had off of these anchors, particularly this one. This is the pre-market low, and then these kind of continued, these other two here. Um, So yeah, that was kind of the idea. Is bearish on the day, thought we were going to come down, but thought that this anchor could have given some support. And I can go ahead and start playing unless you have any other questions.
No, that'll do it.
Let's go.
Let's see
So I
how it
noted
plays out.
down where my first trade was. I got a 2x speed. Yeah, make sure the sound is off. We'll go ahead and put it on 4. I open or 3.
Now you got in at this point, or are you just waiting for your entry?
No, I got in around 4 minutes. So I'm gonna skip over to 340. So we came down here. And we'll see what. Actually, I looked at this a second ago, but I don't remember exactly where I entered here. So we're gonna see. You're pushing down, pushing down. I didn't expect these anchors to hold. Did not expect these to hold because they weren't off continuation. So I didn't go short at the open, but the thesis there was kind of correct that SPY was going to reject the all-time high, but I'm not trading the open. And then it actually contacts that pre-market low, 15 anchor. So it made contact there. I didn't do anything. It dug a little deeper, and then it got that like I'm gonna go back just like 10 seconds here and slow it down, and just to see like if you kind of agree with what I saw. So oh yeah, there we go. We're pushing down, and then right there, like that looked like a decent amount of buying strength come in.
Hmm.
Like all of a sudden it popped
Yeah.
10 points, and it dug the anchor down a little bit. So at this point, I'll slow it. Yeah, just leave it on two. I got into a long there with just one. So the idea here
See
is
that
that
split candle? That
split
split
candle.
candle right here? Yeah, this red candle right here, right above where you got in.
Oh yeah,
Pay attention to those. Because look at the wick.
yeah,
Ah, gosh dang it. I can't take the freaking drawing
that
off.
came right to it.
They usually go to the body of that candle and then pop. That's what
Okay,
um so if it lines up with your anchor VWAP, those
got
wicks.
that.
What the heck? Why isn't it letting me
Okay.
take these things off? Yeah. So when it lines up with, I've noticed these little split candles, they're really strong, especially if they're a doji body.
Yep.
They're good important points. And I bet if you line up with the volume profile, it'd probably have a big bar or a couple big shelves right here lining up with that doji.
Okay.
And that could be why. And then after this big drop, if you don't get in at the first tick of it and you wait for the next candle, then this candle might go to 50% of this big red candle at least.
Okay.
So if your counter trend, I guess this is with trend because it's uptrend, right? But
Yeah, it's with the pre-market.
if your counter trend trending or trading, then you might want to be uh, cautious around the 50% because then it could create a lower high and go down
Makes
right
sense.
there. But yeah,
Yeah.
these little dojis where it has big green candle, red, and then another big green candle, pay attention to that. And same for the downside. One
Yeah,
green
you've
candle with two
mentioned.
big red candles before.
Yeah, you've mentioned that, and that's something. That's one of the things I haven't fully incorporated yet, but I'll keep looking at them. That's a great point.
I kind of treat them like how Brandon says with the fib, here's 100% fib. You did the fib right here, and there's no data down here, so you know that it has to come down to it because there's no price action. And right
Yeah,
here, there's no price action at all into that big red candle. So now you got to look at either doji levels or those split levels right there that it can smash through.
makes sense. Okay. Well, so then yeah, I got into one. And keeping in mind that my max position here, so this is NQ,
Hmm.
just because I didn't change the chart, but it should have been MNQ. So my max position would have been 10. So I got in one just to start. Like, is this 3 minute candle going to pop, maybe close around 110
Hmm.
and then not wick? And then will this be my really great entry starter? Like that sort of thing. So I plan on building into a bit along here with the goal of just getting up to maybe like some top down anchors or these bottom up anchors that got snapped through really strong.
Yeah, for a
So this
confirmation
is supposed to
retest.
be for the short for a confirmation retest of what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, because I was short. So this to me is with the pre-market trend, but to me this was a counter trend that I was just looking to scalp because I thought we were coming down. It was a strong gap down day, and then we open up just at the half candle. If I actually, I'm gonna pull over my trading view chart um, of pre-market. So this is this day on pre-market. So this was the pre-market that we're looking at here.
Hmm.
So actually, the trend is down on the 15. Um, so this was a counter trend for sure, and I'm was kind of working at it to see what I saw with it. So I got in one, right? I'll get to that. I got in one, and then it popped really hard, like immediately. It's up 10, it's up 20, and at this point, I just take it. I was like, okay, my goal was to build a position, and this just gave me a
Hmm.
20-point win, so I'm just gonna take
Yep.
it. And it came back to test the snapped
Yeah,
2
anchors
minute. Yeah.
for
And
continuation short, right?
yeah, exactly. And this is actually where I got that one good little small one contract, on MNQ that would have been $40, and caught that. And then here's where I fucked up actually, because I went and allowed this win to it's really hard to flip the switch, as we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Also because I think of the emotional like like the emotional train or whatever that
Hmm.
gets going about this long just made me money, so I should
Yeah.
take long.
Yeah.
So around 6 minutes, so coming up shortly, I see it actually kind of did what I thought. It closed up around 110, didn't
Yeah,
come
below.
back down to my price. Um, and then I was like, oh, right, I was trying to build a long. Let's get into one here. And then I should have taken it once it popped like 10 points. So I had an opportunity there for like 8 points. And really, I'm being pretty optimistic with the long because all the MACDs are negative now. Um, being pretty optimistic, so I set my stop below the low. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna lose more than I just won on my one. So I'm gonna set my stop below the low, playing out, waiting for it to maybe pop. Now I think
Is this sped
part,
up?
yeah, this is sped up.
Okay. Yeah, because see, even though if it's not sped up, see how the candle was getting sucked up really fast, and when
Yeah.
they would sell down, it would get sucked up even faster. That
Yep.
means buyers are coming in, the pressure is coming in, right? So it might
Okay.
activate a pop big enough to at least go up to right here, or maybe right here. But
Yeah.
first, you gotta take it right here.
Or
You
for
know?
yeah, yeah. And I should have added down here.
Yeah.
I should have added down here, and I should have made another stop, but I didn't, because I think underneath I was still long short bias on the day. I was like, I don't want to add into this position; it's going to turn into a loser, and then it starts giving the winner, and then I added at some point in this next. So if I had added down here, I could have gone and got myself like almost a 20-point
Hmm.
winning contract
Cashed out.
again. Yeah, I would have cashed out the ad, maybe left the original, maybe add in on the little trend, but instead I waited and I added right here.
Is that the 1 minute? I can't really see.
This is the 3.
The 3 minute?
Yeah, and then over here is like I think the 2, and then I got the 15.
Hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, then I added again. I added down here. Well, not again. I added what I should have added down here. I did it this time. But at this point, I kind of think it's too late. Like I think this should have popped stronger.
Yeah, because that split candle is gonna drive it down.
Yeah,
So that's gonna be the resistance. So it might go like this, hit that green candle and go like that.
yeah.
It would go
Which
off
I
of that
think
level.
I'll let it keep going at 3x or whatever. Um, which is basically, I mean, that weakness stayed. I hit my stop. Didn't add it anymore. Didn't move my stop. I'm glad about that. Oh shit! Oh, we were right here. Yeah, hit my stop. And then I think it actually, I'll skip forward like a minute here, couple minutes. I think it actually did what you said, went down here, hit those lows, came back up, and then was kind of stopped by the split candle. So yeah, basically did what you said. And I let the counter trend like kind of distract me. Like I
Hmm.
should have been getting in short at that exit,
Yeah.
but instead I was trying to build the long because the long just won. And I think I was like tunnel visioning.
And that's one of the hardest parts as a beginner is to try to trade both sides.
Yeah.
I think, and a lot of people want to trade both sides. That's something that we haven't really done with you in this process is figured out what you're better at, if you're better at long or short.
Well, shorts feel easier. Tell you that much.
And that's how you'll determine like that and keeping track of your trades. You know, I went long 10 trades and I went short 10 trades. I got 7 out of 10 on shorts and I got 4 out of 10 on longs. That's obviously a pattern. You see shorts better than you do longs.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if you want to try to do that. So we can
Yeah,
try
I
to
will.
see whether you're stronger on one point because you want to identify your weaknesses, right? So with Easy, we identified his weaknesses. He was way better a short player than he was a long player. Once we identified that, we had him focus only on shorts. And now that he's lasered in his strategy, now he's using a different strategy to go long.
Yep.
And then that's going to help him create his long bias. And then after that, then he can probably trade both sides. And even then, you still won't be able to hit the reverse button or, you know, take out. Like me, I usually, if I miss a trade and Brandon's short and he's out, I'm out, that's my target, then I'm getting in long for a counter trend bounce because I can see it. And I have confidence in the counter trend bounce because I can see long, either long bounces or long reversals pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's what you have. Don't focus on trading both sides. Just focus on taking a trade. And if you one short, then one short, but keep track of that because you want to see that pattern. Okay, I'm having better luck trading long, or I'm having better luck
Yeah.
trading short. Once you figure that out, you're going to be able to focus solely on that, laser your strategy in a little bit more. So, like that later on, we can flip it because you could do the negative sign and it would flip it for you. If it's a long day, you could do the negative sign and it'll flip the chart for you so it could look like it's a short day for you, which
Hmm.
your brain could see the chart better because it's going, in your favorite direction.
Is that a thing? Is that actually a function on like Ninja
Yeah,
Trading View?
yeah.
I didn't know. I gotta take a look at that.
You could put like negative. I think it's like negative sign before spy, and it'll flip it for you. But we
Okay.
could get into
Yep.
that later. But yeah, we have. I
Yeah.
think we have to see like, okay, you're a better short player or you're a better long player. A lot of
Yeah.
traders say I can trade both sides, and it's like, no, you're going to be able to trade one way or another. Like for me, it was long. For Lasagna Cat was long. For Easy, it was short. For Dell, I believe it was long, but he was pretty good at playing both sides of long and short with his ICT model. But I mean, that takes practice. And I
Yeah.
think you'll have better odds if you laser in your strategy on the direction that you have better success in.
Yeah. I think
And then later on, try to adapt it to the short side or whatever the case.
makes sense. I think I will definitely record some stats on that, like my longs versus shorts. And I think one thing that is similar in idea, but not the exact same, is that I'm not taking long or not trading the opposite side from my primary direction. So like I think this strategy for me off the 15-minute is like I need to be looking for my my trade of the day or my two trades of the day. Like everybody is of course looking to get, one, two, three, four trades, maybe a fifth and later in the day. But
Hmm.
for me, I think this style, like if I'm looking to be correct in a 100 to 150 point range, like I'm looking for these anchors to, or in today was the daily fib and the spy anchors, like I'm looking for that to seriously reject. So therefore I shouldn't be trading against that. Or today, I'll just bring it just to drive the point in. Like
Hmm.
today, I was looking long off of this one. I thought we had, a crazy, just crushing down day. We had another head and shoulders. And then when I looked at the chart, I actually pointed out in chat, I dropped something in chat here. Somebody, yeah, Russ asked where are the anchors? And I was like, my anchors say that they're long because of this right here. And
Hmm.
in this case, this is what I mean. Like whether I'm short on the SPY anchor and the daily fib, like this day I was recapping, or if I'm long here, I need to only go in that direction for a while, like
Yeah.
until the move is played out,
Yep.
and not be trying to. Because here, what got me, I got thrown off my prime. My primary objective was take this nice gap down continuation short, but
Yep.
instead I tried. I was like, oh, but I can catch the long too, and then I kept trying to get long profit.
Yep.
So I think for me, it's maybe not long or short different overall, but I can't be trying to flip the switch in the middle of the day.
Not at this point. I'm
Yeah,
not saying not to ever do it.
yeah, maybe at some point.
Just just later in when you have more screen time and you actually see, okay, I can catch a little counterbalance right here because it's at this level, and I'm only gonna scalp 10 points, or and Brandon does that. He'll say, "Oh, I'm gonna counter trend this bounce. I'm gonna counter trade this bounce
Hmm.
only for 5 points or only for six
And
points."
then back in my primary direction.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But you see him, he's calling it out. He's saying, "I'm only counter trend trading. I'm gonna catch this bounce for 6 points," and then he says, "I'm in short," and then he continues going with this play.
Hmm. Which today, like if I pulled that to the recap, you would have been like, oh my God. Like if I took this counter trend long and then started shorting at this 2 minute top down, like I thought. Well, actually, now I remember I was looking to get up to these,
Mm-hmm.
but which is also part of the difficulty with counter trend trading is, so okay, I thought it was going to be short. I thought the bias was going to be down, and I turned out being correct. But then I'm like, what's really hard, even harder, is trying to figure out how long the counter trend bounce would be. So if I had been focused on my primary direction, I would have been short here, and I wouldn't have been worrying about getting back to these anchors in other than adding at them.
But that's where you gotta discern the difference, because once it smashes through the level, right, it's gonna be resistance,
Right.
right? And to get up to here, it needs to get through this resistance, meaning, and this is what I always tell you guys, is price action and the candle has to hold above it and close above it. Once it
Yeah.
closes above it, then it has the opportunity to go to here. But right here, it didn't close or hold above that level. And that's what I'm telling you. If the candle is holding above this level for, let's say, 3.5 minutes, then you know it has a little bit of strength in it, right? But the next candle comes down and it goes fast and it gets bought up slow. And then it goes down fast and it gets bought up slow. So you know that it's weak and it's gonna lose that level. Where in the other way is if this one would have been this one closed green, this one closed green, and this one open green, then you want it to pop green and hold above these VWAPs longer in the candle. Whether it's a 1 minute, you want it to hold 45 seconds. If it's 5 minute, you want it to hold 3 minutes or 4 minutes, whatever the case is. You want it to hold above that level because then you know that it's priming up to go up. to this level.
That actually really puts everything you've been saying into context. Whenever you said hold above, and have always been thinking close above the level, and it's like, oh, but if I wait till the close, then it's like, of course it held above. Now it's probably going to pull back. But you're saying price action for duration of the candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because you're looking at the 5 minute a lot. So that
Yeah, so
makes
you're
sense.
looking like, okay, are buyers coming in and holding it up above that level, or are buyers getting taken out below that level? And that's why I don't know if I've ever like said it in that descriptive way where you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm trying to tell you guys in the chat. I want to see a higher low off of the 10 SMA. Or I want to see a higher low off of this level or that whatever level I'm calling out. Or I want to see it hold this level.
Yeah.
The other thing I say is if it gets over this level, it's going to squeeze. And when it hits that level, if you see the speed smash through that level, then you know it's going to squeeze. But if it like rejects it really slow or rejects it fast, then you know it's going to have a little bit more time. So then maybe the next or the next candle or the following candle might squeeze. But then you still have to pay attention to how it's reacting to that level.
Yeah. And that would have helped a lot here. I mean, look at it. It there's almost no price action in these candles above these crushed anchor.
Yep. Because look at how strong that red candle smashed through those anchors. It
Yep.
didn't just like
Hmm.
hold it and then bounce back and it wicked up and then the next candle smashed through it. It just destroyed those levels, those anchors. So you know it's weak. And then it
Huh.
held below it and you know it's weak. So you know it's gonna have continuation down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that all comes with screen time. And but actually, seeing it right now and describing it, I think will help you better later for a
Yeah.
different when you come across the same scenario at a later point.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah,
right.
cool trade.
Let's find the next one in this day. It's gonna be around here. Um, we got all the way down to this anchor is gonna be the low from a previous day. So now the entire short thesis kind of played out, and I wasn't in it, which is fine. Um,
Hmm.
and now I believe since we got all the way down to where would have been my target, we're at the this purple cloud is the
Yeah.
VWAP cloud from the -2 to the -3. So we got down to the -2 VWAP. And then I should click into position within the next minute or so.
And then what does Brandon always say? The targets become entries for longs or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
And that you never see price action past negative two anything.
Yeah.
It rarely goes
Well,
and when it
some
hits
days.
negative three, it's like super rare. If you see that, then you fucking get in short or long, wherever it's at, depending.
Yeah. Oh, we
So
got a
you get in the
link for
trade.
how to invert trading view. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so I got in this exactly because of what you're saying, right? The target then becomes kind of the opposite. So it's like this thesis played out down to not my actual total target, but about halfway
Hmm.
there. The whole target would have been the 161 of the gap down, which is not on this chart because it's below the price. Um, so then here is would be for me another counter trend play, but a bigger one because we
Yeah,
didn't we
because it
have
could go up to here at least,
exactly. So
or here,
I saw this 3 minute close green, and then the
or
next one
here.
sprung to close open green. So I got into tried to get into two here, and then one missed, so I just filled it. And target being actually your red line here. First target being your red line because of that To whenever a move is strong like this, especially if I'm counter trending, here's something I at least got in the bag is that I'm going to get out half the position at the start of the strong continuation move.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So looking to take some out there. So that's where I set my sell for one of them. I've got two, and I set a sell there. And then I think these are too close. Like I feel like there's almost no
What are
point. Like
those? Are
this is
those moving averages or are those anchors?
oh, these are moving average. These
What is
kind
it?
of
The 9 and the 10?
9 and the 21,
Oh.
which I like that combination. The 9 and the 21 on a lot of time frames, just kind of validates the trend. A lot of what you're seeing here from the 5 minute max, 15-minute max, the 30-minute Stoke, these moving averages are all geared towards trying to make sure I'm in the right direction of the larger move.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I see what you do.
yeah. So I got one here. I think these cells are too close. I feel like there's almost like only 8 point difference, but that's a
Hey,
small
it's target
factor.
is target, dude. As
True.
long as you're fucking green, you're green.
And then I got a little scared. I moved them down. I'm like, let's actually take T1 about halfway through this candle and then make T2 the anchor.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of preservation, but what I don't like about it is my stop has to be below the low. It doesn't have to be. It could be below this candle. It can be wherever I want it to be, but I think it should be at least below the low here. And now I'm at negative risk reward, which I know you said not to focus on, and I'm not drawing a risk reward on every trade. All right. And I mean, you make a good point. Like if I get focused, I'm going to draw a risk reward on every single trade. But um, but I'm trying to at least make sure that I'm 1 to 1. Like I don't want to um if I'm getting into trades that have less than 1 to 1 in this strategy, this style, like some scalping strategies can have less than 1 to 1. But if I'm getting into a trade with this style at less than 1 to 1, I don't think that's good. Like I don't think I should be taking those
Mm-mm.
because the point of this is to be right in the direction. So I moved my targets. I got scared here, and I don't think I should have moved the targets. I think I remember price. Yeah, it goes right through my first one. A little bit of hesitation. I think when the candle does this, it's like bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Then I just take one. Like if I'm right before, I don't know, maybe you do this too, but if I'm right before my target and the candle is like did it like right below it, I'm either gonna take it, or if I'm really confident in the move, I'm thinking actually move it further because whatever it's bouncing off of is a little bit of a resistance, and it's either
Mm-hmm.
gonna fail that or crush it. So it's like I feel
Yeah.
like yeah,
Go ahead.
you see what I'm
Go ahead.
saying?
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
And so I feel like if my target's here and the candle's
Mm-hmm.
just bouncing away from
Mm-hmm.
it over and over and over, I might as well either take it or if I'm really confident, put it even further. But there's no point of leaving it right on where it's bouncing on, in my opinion.
Something that Brandon does is he always does it like one, two, maybe two or three ticks shy of the target,
Yeah,
just to. That's just a practice that he's taken. Um, my friend yesterday, the target missed or price action missed his target by literally two ticks, and it reversed on him and blew up his account.
that's crazy.
Ouch.
Yeah, there's the
Um,
phrase "Don't be a dick over a tick."
I
and
had
it's
that
because
happen.
he stepped out, he stepped away from he's my emotions are getting in my way. I need to step away, and I was like, in the morning, like from like 5:30 to like 8:30, you should be near your computer or near your device that you're trading on, because especially on NQ, that thing will reverse hard on you. And with Apex, that trail stop will screw you up.
Yeah, I don't even. Trail stops, I realized were negative for my state of mind, like in
Well,
my
well,
trades.
it depends. Like me, when I put a trail stop, it's
Not a
after
trail stop.
it hits my target, right? So I put a
Yeah,
trail stop, it hits my target, and then I'll attach a trail stop to the 21, to the 50, or
yeah,
the 10, depending on how much I want to give back, or depending on the confidence that I have in the move playing out to my second target. If I have the confidence of the move playing out to my second target, then I'll attach the trail stop to the 50 estimate.
Yeah, that makes
And
Do
then
sense.
it'll
you
either hit my target or it'll hit my 50 estimate, and I'm green either way.
Yeah,
Accept it. Just fucking be happy. You're like, yeah, I hit my first target. I'm up $700. Okay, the second one, I'm willing to give back to the 50 estimate, which is like I'll give back $200, but I'll
yeah,
still end up green 500 max. But if I get to my second target, I'll be up to $1,200.
yeah. And I could say
Yeah.
psychologically, I'm fine with that. That doesn't bother me. Like when it comes back, if I set a trail stop, I accept that that is my trail stop. When it comes back and hits it, honestly, I'm sometimes even more just relieved that the trade is over.
Hmm.
Like I don't have to worry
Louis, do
about it.
you move the stop to, let's say, 20 SMA manually, or you have it programmed?
No, you attach it. So
Yeah, you can do that
you
on NT.
you hold control and you click
Mhm.
on it says limit or it says market or whatever, sell or buy. So not on the number, because if you click on the number, it's going to make you adjust the contract size. But if you click to the right of that and you hold control and then you drag it over a moving average, it'll say attach. When it says
Uh-huh.
attach, let go of the mouse and then it'll tell you, do you want to attach to the 50 estimate, whatever you dropped it on. And you hit
Gotcha.
attach. And if you want to do it like shy, like you want to do a 2 tick offset, that means it's -2 ticks below the moving average, and it'll just follow it -2 ticks all the way until it cancels the order.
Hmm. Got it.
But that's why I love NinjaTrader because you can do things like that. I haven't figured out how to do it on TradeOvate, but I'm sure maybe sometime near future they'll probably add some features
Yeah,
like that to TradeOvate.
yeah.
Um,
All right, I'll go ahead and keep playing this. Um, yeah, hit the first target. First target should have been up here, but instead I moved it down. But I moved it down too early. I think taking it when it's bouncing, that's fine. But I just took it because kind of arbitrarily.
yeah.
And then
Um,
this opened up red, so I just took the T2 as well. I didn't like that that candle opened up red and then started getting pushed. So
and that's all stuff that hopefully you're journaling. I took it off because I took the first T when I moved it down because of this. I shouldn't have or whatever. And review like, okay, the MACD still look good, the RSI still look good, all that. I should have stuck it through to my target.
yeah,
But just writing that little stuff down, and then it opened up red. Did it continue going down or whatever? Um, I should have moved my target. I should have let it play out, or I should have put a trail stop or whatever. Whatever is gonna help you correct that fear or that anxiety that you're getting
yeah,
when you're in that moment where it's shine.
yeah. Yeah, one piece of journaling stuff that I've noticed has already been helpful is pointing out that if I'm ever looking at price action and it doesn't feel good about the direction that I'm looking to go in, just closing it and
Hmm.
really having that rather miss it than risk it attitude.
Yep.
Um, because I'd rather miss five of them than get actually slammed by one that I knew didn't feel good.
Yep.
So,
That's good that you're starting to learn that because I've started to see that be like, it doesn't look like buyers are coming in right here. Maybe I should get out.
right. And it's like there's that thought of, oh, they're just gonna sweep it and then trick us and then it's gonna go. It's like, all right, well, if you're so sure about that, you might as well get out and back in at a better price, huh?
Yeah, but like
Like,
say you got out because you didn't feel good, right? So then take a screenshot and then zoom out and take another screenshot and then look to the left. Always look to the left because the left there's gonna be levels. Somewhere over here there's gonna be levels of like, oh, I should have entered here instead of here.
yeah, Makes sense. I think that actually, I think that does it for
for that
this
one.
trade number 2. And still, I'm not like, I still think that we're gonna go down, right? But I haven't taken any shorts.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so this is my
that's the
counter trend
hard
practice
that's
day.
super hard to do. You can't unchange your bias like once you're it's like you somehow you gotta trick your brain
Yeah,
and maybe just calling it out, hey, this is a counter trend trade. This is not a reversal trade or whatever.
that's exactly what I should do.
Like just
Say
call
this is a counter
yourself to
trend
hold it.
trade,
Yep. Yep.
and then yeah, I'm looking to get out and then go in the opposite direction.
Yep.
Like regardless if my counter trend trade made me money, it's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also skipping through this to find last trade of this day. What did I do
What are
here? Yeah,
those yellow
finally.
candles
This is just an inside bar.
Mm.
So on
for
like the
trading? Maybe.
5, yeah, for Ninja. Um, on like the 5 instead, it's kind of like when pressure is building up there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that sort of thing. So then we finally got a pop through these or pop into these untested 2 minutes, 2 minute top downs. That we shied, finally got into them. I'm like, all right, well, I was short on the day. Time to start building my short position. So I go and I
Yeah.
enter one on the tag. Um, I'm just making sure that like, my final target is at least a good distance from, and this is how I like to use it. I want to be like, my entry position better be at least almost a 2 with my final target. So I do
Can,
that to kind of make sure that
can
um
you tell me something or go back to that screen? Yeah, right there. Leave it there. Tell me something that you see here that you didn't see here that caused this to bust through. Hint, it has something to do with the anchors. And this is how I use the moving averages, and I always tell it in the chat. I'm waiting for
oh,
this
it
to,
curled up. Yeah,
yeah, well, it's
sloped up.
flattened out because you got to think
Flatten, yeah.
when it's steep down, price action is harder to bust through it. But when it's flat, it makes it a lot easier to bust through.
Yeah, that makes
And I'm
sense.
always telling you guys, hey, I'm waiting for the MACD to flatten out. And it needs a pop for it to flatten out or something
Yeah.
like that. I'll tell you guys. And look at this little pop caused this little slant, kind of like it kind of pulled the slope up, and then this pop flattened it out. And then
Yeah.
same with those, flatten them out. It caused this pop to flatten it out a little bit, and then this pop really flattened it out. So if I have another pullback, it's priming up to smash through that level.
That
And
makes
that's the
sense.
same over here for the moving averages. See, same thing. That this pullback right here, couldn't smash through because the slope was so steep. But once it gets flat and starts crawling up, price action can smash through it.
Makes sense.
So if you're
Mm.
in a trade long right here, you're like, maybe these slopes of the anchors is not good for me to go up to these. Yet.
Yeah,
Yet. Once they flatten out, okay, now I know that price action can smash through them, and look at it, smash through it, and it made it to the second level.
makes sense. That's good shit. I'm gonna incorporate that. Yep, because this is at 10:06, and that long that I was trying to build was just 15-minute prior, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about like here,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
And if I had been looking at that, I could have said, "Oh, it's time to kind of build the rest of this counter long to finally get these."
Hmm.
Okay.
But those are just little things that you just need to train yourself now to look for the slope. Connor's always talking
Yeah,
about the
let me write
slope.
that down.
Connor's always talking about the slope. The 50 SMA has a steep slope down, or the 10 SMA has a steep slope up, or whatever. But that goes for everything. Look at, look at the what is this, MACD or RSI? Flat right
Yeah,
here. Flat
yeah,
right here. Look at the MACD, flat. And look at it, flat. They're all flat. Everything's everything's flat. The anchors,
yep,
your cloud right here, your indicators down here, and then this goes up.
makes sense. The only thing that's not is the Stoke had the 30-minute Stoke had just started to really turn red, which was part of the thesis of taking this longer trade that I thought was going to go way farther down.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to
Um,
use stochastics or whatever they're called. But
yeah,
I mean, if you have any tips, I'm sure there's a trader out there that'll benefit from it. Because I don't know how to use them, but I'm sure they're useful.
yeah. So then, yeah, yeah, so I saw this stuff curling, right? Or at least I probably did, right? I'd have to listen to my voice. I'm kind of narrating myself through on these live recordings as well, so I can go
That's
back and
good.
see what I was really thinking. Um, and so opened up with one, looking to add to that. Pretty sure that was the goal here. I'm going to leave this on 4 because I think it goes for a while. I
And
might
then
even,
you got in short because it tagged the second top downs, right? That level.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, these. So I got
And then
that's
your
why I
target was
opened
the
it.
bottom. The target was the bottom. Those yellow, these ones right here.
No, my target. So if I was good looking for a target, I would have anchored this one on the bottom
Oh
and
yeah,
this
for the
one
top down or
for the
for bottom
bottom
up.
up.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. I would have anchored those, but I didn't even worry about that because my target. This is my first contract in a position. Uh, has the largest target. Like I want to get that one, or I guess in a with trend move. Like I don't know if that's really set in stone, but the point is that I think I'm opening this position here because I think we'll come all the way down to this is a golden pocket. This is a daily fib golden pocket. I think we're going to come all the way down to the one again, at least. And this is the one actually on the purple. So that was my target. You can see my risk reward is I just wanted to make sure that I could hold this one all the way up to it's all the way up here, but really I would have stopped it above here.
Yeah,
But this one I'm okay with going 30 negative on that one.
yeah. You
Um
could have stopped right here or right there, or depending on what you tolerate, right?
yeah,
I think a break of market structure on the left is a good stop area,
yeah,
or a break of this. If you got in right here, then a break of this. It just depends on your entry and your tolerance.
yeah. And somebody Russ asked in the chat how the hell did you catch the really big move? And it's like part of it is just having this mindset where this first contract should be MNQ. I'm okay with losing 40 points on it because I'm looking to gain 100.
Hmm.
So, and I actually don't know if I'm pretty sure I got my ads. It pushed a little further up here. And I don't want to skip past the ads, but I'm going to go ahead and skip just a couple of minutes here because I think it's quite a long trade. Still at 1, kind of shuffling around. I'm just waiting. And I'm waiting for the confirmation of the 2 or the 1 minute Mac. Okay, so I did set a conservative stop on this one actually. I went and then I set more stops. Oh no, these are ads. Okay, so I set my ads actually.
Hmm.
But then it just started going in my favor. I'm looking for the confirmation of the 2 minute Mac to go and
To
turn
go
back
down.
down.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the 5 minute to stop curling up and instead maybe do the shy, the
Yeah.
fake
Hmm.
cross, is what I'm looking for here. So I've got a couple ads here. This should be MNQ, right? So I've got one, and then I was looking to add two, and then add three, and then my final stop would be at the top.
What time frame is this?
This now is the three. I was
This
kind of
one over here?
shuffling 15. So that's my final ad is this 15-minute top down. And then if it gets all the way from that top down to break the high, then that's the last stop. And
Hmm.
that seems really far, right? It's good. It is really far. It's 80 points in the other direction.
Yeah.
But I was looking to make 100. So, and I only opened up with one in the beginning.
Oh, and this is
Uh,
MNQ. Yes. But
yeah, it
still.
is. It's NQ, but it should be MNQ.
Hmm.
So I think that I'm seeing right here some rejection. Like it one, two, three candles that aren't
Look at the
continuing.
split candle.
Yeah, a nice red. Oh, yeah, above. Yeah, that split here is rejecting that. Just what we were talking about.
Yep.
I really am going to pay more attention to these on the three.
It'll help you. It's not that it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you say, okay, if we get when I'm calling out these levels, these are the levels that I'm calling out. Either dojis or splits or gaps or whatever volume profile levels. These are the levels that I'm looking at. That if we get above it and hold, then it's gonna
Oh,
squeeze up. If we get below it or stay hold below it and rejects, then it's probably gonna dump down.
yeah. Okay.
But start paying it, you'll slowly start. It's a lot to take in, right? Because you're looking at the anchors, and then you're like, man, I got to look at the volume, I got to look at the MACD, I got to look at RSI, I got to
Yeah.
look for these dojis or these split
Yeah.
candles. it,
Now
it
these do.
takes a
Yeah.
lot, and you have to create a little system that'll help you cycle through all that information in a methodical way.
Right. I mean, that's fine to me. It's one of the most rewarding jobs in the world for a reason. It's not because it's easy. So if I got to look at, add these damn dojis to my checklist, that's fine. I can do that. I've got a bit of a process too, like you're saying, starting at the 15-minute Mac and the 30 Stoke. But I'll go ahead and continue. See how this goes in here. I'm in two. I
Short.
set my target. Yeah, I'm in two short.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's gonna squeeze up to me.
Yeah.
I'll just let it play out, but that's what it looks like to me. It's
Yeah.
consolidating here, and it'll squeeze above if it gets above that split candle. Because look at the slope of the moving averages, how they're kind of still sloped up. So it should, emphasis on should, and I could be wrong, do a fresh low and then squeeze up. But there's a fresh low.
I think in this example, actually, I think it did just go down.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have said. I should have let us see if you changed your opinion at some point. Like where you would decide that that's not going to happen.
Honestly, I would have fibbed this out. I would have fibbed it from there to the low.
Okay.
And then if it holds below, yeah, this candle right here, if it breaks below that body, it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
If it holds above it, then it's probably gonna go back up.
Right.
So that's the pivot point. When I say pivot point, here it is. Is it gonna go up or is it gonna go down? Look at the
Makes
slope of the
sense.
moving averages. The moving averages are sloped down. So I don't think it's gonna bust through that moving average.
Yeah. Well, then at this point, I mean, now they are sloped down.
Hmm.
Now they finally got that down slope, and I added a third one here. Um, I thought that this rejection here, this consolidation took too long. It didn't squeeze up. We're down here. And I'm adding another thinking that this red candle here won't get broken. That this is the start of another leg.
So from this green candle right here to this red candle right here,
Yeah.
price action will just do like this, chop, 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 chop. But if it gets above that, it's squeezing up. If it gets below this, it's dumping down. So you got a little zone right here, a little buffer zone.
Yeah, that's a good.
You
I'm
know,
gonna write this down. I don't really know how to put it, but my zones where I expect chop or squeeze or expect the move to be confirmed. Maybe I call it like confirmation zones. I don't know. They're too small because like you were saying, it has to get below this area
for
and
it
then
to
it'll
dump
dump.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that this is good enough, but really it's not. And I think that's actually a common thing that like I see a move get up a bit, and I'm like, oh, that's the confirmation, but it's not quite there yet. I think that happens to me a lot. So I just took this note and said like widen my zones of confirmation. Hope I'll come back to this video.
Hmm.
I'll probably remember that idea
Yeah,
to go
because
do that.
see, so right here, right, the sellers came in on this candle, right? So this is the last point that sellers came in at. So if the sellers is that's their last point, then they would get stopped out up here, right? But if it breaks that, then the sellers are gonna come in. The
Yeah.
foamers are gonna come in and push it down.
Yep.
Up here, the buyer's last point is right there. So once it gets stopped out right here, then the sellers are gonna come in. But if it gets
Makes
above
sense.
here, the buyers or foamers are gonna come in and push it up. It still has these wicks to get over it, and that's the final squeeze, which lines up with the split level or split candle. So that zone right there. So it might squeeze up to this, come down, and then you gotta see the candle develop right here. If it's holding above these two wicks, then you know it's coming, priming up, and then squeeze.
Yeah.
But let's see how it plays out. See,
Yeah.
see how those these zones right here, these little how they interact with it.
Yeah, and adding in before we really got to that contributed to me moving up my stop a little bit because I'm letting my incorrect analysis of the 3 minute action affect my wider targets.
And see right there, that green candle just rejected it, and the sellers came in. But you gotta see, are the sellers aggressively pushing that candle down? And if they are, right now it looks like they're not, because it's staying green majority of the time. It might get squeezed out. 'Cause sellers are coming in, sellers are coming in. It needs to be red. See how it popped up green almost immediately?
Yeah,
But they need to get held down, held down, held down. Now it's
yeah,
weak. Now it's weak. And it all because it popped up right here to this candle right here. So the sellers were stronger. So now you come down to this level. So now it's this level. Get past that, it's gonna panic down. And the buyers are trying to come in and they're gonna get
yeah.
stopped out. They're gonna get stopped out soon. Right there. Boom. Then they're gonna go down.
So I took one there.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah, I took one there. Also, like this is why these moves that I'm trying to catch, like you were saying at the beginning of this meeting, require patience, and I got to do that to not take my targets early.
Hmm. Now you got your patience to get in, right? Now you got to practice on your patience to stay in.
Right.
There's two different types of patience, and if you can master both, you will be in a good spot.
Yeah.
See, and it lost that level and it panicked. It
Yeah.
lost this level right here, panicked down because it just took out all the buyers. that were coming in because of this level. So the liquidity got swept. Like ICT, this all liquidity right here got swept.
That makes sense. Continue
I think
playing
I'm
this.
getting better at this price action thing.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And it all comes from helping you guys look at it or explain it to you guys. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You guys should practice explaining it to somebody that's really interested. And if you could do it in person, it gives you different perspective. I
yeah,
never thought it would, but helping out my friend, it has definitely gave me a different insight into price action. Because he's like,
yeah.
I want you to tell me when you're in. And I was like, I can't tell you when I'm getting in, dude. I can tell you levels and what I'm looking for because I'm trying to train you what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for, what to call out, what I want to see. So you guys are doing the exact same thing with your strategy. I don't want to tell you like I'm in. Well, I can say I'm in and you guys don't even know why I'm in.
Well, I mean,
Know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, for sure. That's just asking for, you know, your trades.
And that's what I like about Brandon because he makes you think. He calls out
Oh yeah,
levels. He does little mini pop quizzes, but he makes you think like, okay, what looks good here? What do we see here for this move?
yeah. Sometimes I think he makes it intentionally confusing, just so just so it fucks over people who are just like, listening word for word.
Yeah. And,
Which,
and, and I think it does mess with some people that are taking it literally, I guess, or I don't
yeah,
know how else you would explain it, but like I use Brandon specifically for levels and what he's looking at when he's calling out a squeeze point or a bounce point or whatever. That's what I'm trying to identify.
right.
Not like, okay, you got in, I'm getting in. Like, what good does that do me if I don't even know the target or I don't even know the trade plan, you know?
Yeah,
But
the game plan. Yeah,
if he gives you a level and you're like, okay, this level matches up. Okay, I see a higher low. I can fib it. it looks like a moving average is there. It looks like a fair value gap is there. It matches up with my level. So that's a strong level to me. I'm getting it because of that. I'm not getting in because he said he's in. And you shouldn't be getting in when other traders get in.
maybe sometimes.
Y-
I
y-
come
y-
in, I come hungover, and I'm like, let's just wait till Brandon says get in.
And I don't even think he ever says he gets in until
No,
after the
he
fact.
doesn't.
He'll
Yeah,
say like, "Oh, I'm in a trade," right? And then he'll say my average is, but that could be 30 seconds, a minute after his entry. But he told you
yeah,
guys the levels that he's gonna enter in at.
yeah. And stuff changes like minute to minute. So I mean, of course there have been some days where he's very bullish on a day, and then it turns around and goes bearish really hard. And it's like you gotta have your own intuition of when to call it quits.
Yep.
Like that's
You
for
can't be
sure.
responsible for your mess up. You have to learn how to trade. If you
I
don't
mean, for
know
sure.
that, if you're not putting forth the effort, then you're never gonna be profitable and you're never gonna be consistent.
Yeah, that's facts. People don't want to hear, and they never believe nevers, but those are two absolute facts.
But if you just want to be like, oh, I'm in, well, what happens if I get sent to jail or if I die or how are you gonna know how to identify those levels?
Okay, so it's sent to jail.
Or I
It's
get deported. Like, you know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
gotta
saying?
find the next Semper, right?
Like
I'd be fucked,
you have to like, and that's what I love
or
that
I
you
would.
started a YouTube, you started recording your trades, you started journaling. because that shit's gonna help. And I
It
think
already
another
is.
another thing that's gonna help, something we talked about earlier, is having a battle buddy, like somebody that's attracted to your style of either talking, describing stuff, or even your strategy.
Right.
Um, and because it's gonna have you take a deeper dive into your strategy and be like, oh shoot, I'm glad he asked that question. It made me kind of, look at why am I doing that?
Yeah, that's why it's awesome. Pete found a scalping strategy off the 2 minute anchors. And it's nice because it puts it in a different context of
Hmm.
because he's very largely into levels and such.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess a lot of really good traders are, but a lot of scalping around levels and such. So it's like looking at these 2 minute anchors as a level that should be validated with an effective scalp. Um, it's nice to put it into perspective, though I don't no one yet that trades them how I'm looking to trade them. Um, or, the 15 at least.
yeah.
No one yet, but hopefully one will come along.
But either way, like even like me and permanent waves, right? We use a moving average, we use a fib, or even lasagna cat. We all use the fib and the moving averages. We all have our own little different style within that. And what's cool about it is their style might open up your strategy to, oh, okay, I didn't notice that. Maybe, I'll incorporate that to my style, or I'll pay a little bit more attention to that.
Hmm.
Because, like I say, we can all have the same strategy, but we all have different styles within that strategy and
Yeah,
how we use it.
makes sense. Hopefully hopefully someone will come along and enjoy the 15-minute anchor 100-point moves. But
And even when they come along, they're gonna ask you like, "Oh, how do you stay in so long?" Or "How do you get in at, how do you top ticket? How do you bottom ticket?"
and I'm gonna say buy my $1,500 course and I'll tell you.
Hey, I thought it's 1999.
Oh right, at 19, I'm selling myself short here.
Always
Got my
selling a
trade early.
friggin' course. Damn it.
Hey, I gotta eat, right? My trades aren't making money.
No,
That
you
feels like everyone
honestly,
with a course.
Join Apex. Yeah, it's like that guy who was always losing, joined Apex, making millions now.
Yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I recommend that to anybody here is, hey, journal or open up your YouTube because there's gonna be somebody that resonates with how you explain something or you're gonna like your strategy.
I'm trying to get a buddy too. He swore on our brotherhood that if I can show 3 months of consistent data, that he would learn it with me every day.
He's gonna be
So,
like my buddy, where he's gonna be in it, and then it's like, he's not gonna be like fully dedicated to it, and
but once I
then
show him the money, how do your friends not, if I, if I knew you in person, like if we were like local buddies, you know what I mean? Like
mhm.
lived in the same area and I saw the money that trading could make from my own home. I mean, look at me now. I would be the way I am. I don't get how somebody sees that. Like, because most people, they just don't believe it. They're like, I'm not going to try it because I don't believe it. And some of that's rationalization. Some of that is like, they really just don't believe it.
Mhm.
But if somebody sees it and they can't deny it, I mean, I'd be all over it. But
And that's why now he's
now
finally
he's into
coming
it.
around. Like
Yeah.
before, when I was making $100 a day, 250 a day, he's like,
Yeah. They
oh, yeah,
laugh at you.
all right, that's 250 a day. That ain't gonna make me quit my day job, but it's the consistency of showing up every day, getting that
Yeah.
screen time. I told him like, dude, I've been at this for almost 5 years now. I told you 5 years ago. Um, I started 2016.
Better
I
late than
started
never.
trading.
Yeah.
I started trading. I was like, let's do this. Let's invest. And then he got into investing, but then he kind of just dropped the ball. And I was like, bro, you probably could have retired already. Um, and what is it? 8 years later, he's finally coming around like, oh, dude, teach me how to trade. I was like, well, I'll teach you, but we could have done this together and we could have been making money together. And
Yeah.
now I gotta catch you up. And
Yep.
he's already blown a couple accounts, but I said that's the name of the game, dude. You have to pay your tuition, you have to take the bruises, you have to take
Yeah.
the bumps before
Tuition.
and
Yep.
that's what's giving me that idea that a lot of new traders come into this and they don't know how to control their emotions.
Yeah, that's why this buddy, I will insist that I'm not going to teach him unless he trades sim. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no bad habits. Like this guy, I'm hoping I can. He's a great guy. He has a kid now and all this. Like I'm hoping I can, really launch. But I got to worry about think about myself first. But
Yeah.
uh,
Like you
to
could have
start with
him,
no bad habits.
yeah, have him do long-term investing for his kid. Like,
Oh, I don't know
dividend
anything about
investing.
that, but oh yeah,
It's not that hard. It's the easiest type of trading ever. Like, set your kid up for success. $50 a month, put it into Coca-Cola or whatever you can afford, AT&T, Verizon, ExxonMobil, the companies have been around for ages.
yeah,
And then he's gonna start getting more um attracted to the charts. Like I was telling my friend the other day, we're looking at a freaking TV because he has his Mac hooked up to his TV. I said, who would have ever thought that looking at a chart with bars would be exciting? Like we're right here
yeah.
chilling, we're chilling together, and we're like,
Glued on these
yeah, we're like,
bars.
damn, look at this is so exciting. Like, but that's only
Yeah.
you kind of you build that. And he's like, yeah, I know, dude. My heart gets pumping, and I was like, and it's crazy because you go through that roller coaster, highs and ups, and pissed off and sad days, and it's really emotional type of job.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's sure is emotional.
But that's what a lot of new traders have a tough time. And if you can keep your emotions in check, I think you're gonna be that much further ahead than if you don't know. Like I had to learn the hard way.
Right. Oh, bro. I mean, 100%. If I could trade just completely on like robotically, I mean, I would kill this. Like this is like no doubt. But every human has emotion.
Yep, and that's the hardest part is taking out that emotion away from trading
Yeah.
because you're like, I told him you got to start either doing push-ups or even just do sit-ups, something. Go for a 30-minute walk before you start trading. Go meditate to clear your head because if you don't, you're gonna have that built up testosterone or hormone levels are high, and you're gonna be like, get FOMO is gonna kick in, and you're gonna get in long right at the top, and you're like, man, it's like this computer knows me. And it's like, nah, dude, you don't long tops. You got to wait for that pullback.
Yep.
And it's like, no, it's the market is screwing you, but like I always say, you got to ask, how is the market trying to screw me today?
Yeah. And it's not coming after them, it's coming after the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, all the retails that don't know how to trade properly, that don't wait for confirmation, that don't wait for a pullback.
Yep. And yeah, exercise, that's something I've already incorporated, is one of my main rules is I don't trade live unless I've both exercised and meditated for the day. Because doing that gets me already into a winning mindset for the day, like an
Yep.
abundance mindset. Like I've exercised, right? I've nourished my mind with actual sitting meditation, like, And now I'm sitting down and I've got way less urgency to take a
Yep.
trade. Like
Yep.
it's no big deal. If I'm going to be sitting here until 11:30 anyway, why not wait?
Yep. And it
Which is
helps
why
you
that
be more
first trade,
picky. Yeah.
yeah, like this first trade, I was short biased, but I didn't get into it because I thought we were going to pop up a little bit further first. And I just watched the whole thing go. And I took my counter trends and I was sure I didn't get into the trend that I really thought until here. At
Yeah.
this moment I got in and up 80 points like a G. But other than that, just waited. So that's definitely helped a lot into the because I do bad when I'm angry. Like that's it. Like
Hmm.
really, like angry or desperate. Like I mean, it's been. I told you this like 2 months ago, and I'm finally out of the habit from like a month of basically only trading only sim. Is I would be green for like 10, 15 days in a row and then lose it all in like 2 or 3 days just being pissed. It's like
Yep.
when I'm not angry, when I'm in a good mindset, I do well like almost all the time.
And you could see the play better. You can see the chart better. It's weird how you don't have that brain fog where you're like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, I don't know
Yeah.
how to read this chart.
Yep.
Well, you got to take a stab at it. You got to freaking, okay, what do I see? For the first question, what do I see? Do I see higher lows? Do I see lower lows? What do I see on MACD? What do I see on RSI? How do my anchors look? Can I do a top down? Can I do a bottom up? Okay, I can do a bottom up because we have, a fresh low or whatever it is, right? However you look for them. Um,
Usually
but
the
you
higher
have
lows,
to,
but
yeah, you have to have a process and ask yourself those questions.
yeah.
Instead of asking me those questions you're asking me, you try to answer those questions by looking at the chart.
Hmm.
Like what would Semper say? What would Brandon say? And that's all from showing up with Brandon every day and him hearing him narrate. And I was like, oh shoot, narrating the chart helps me stay calm, helps me be more patient with my trade. I think he has a purpose. He just doesn't say the purpose. He doesn't tell you, yeah, you should narrate your trade so you can be better. But I honestly do think that helps.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like when we're sitting in this consolidation and it's like, okay, well, I'm thinking it's short, but it can easily keep retesting these tops. It's like now I know it, I'm saying it, I'm aware of it. Whereas if I just short, at some level and then I'm like, oh fuck, it's popping to these tops. What's going on? I thought it was supposed to just go down.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I just said that this is consolidation and it could not do that. It could
Yep.
do whatever. So
Yep.
yeah, that's helping a lot too. Well, while I'm recording, I'm usually talking to myself as well.
Yeah. And it's gonna help. You're gonna see the progress that you're seeing, like, oh wow, I can see the chart better. It feels like you're in sync with the chart because you can actually be like, oh, this candle's gonna pop up to this level. It's gonna pop up to the moving average. It's probably gonna reject, pull back down, pop off the 10 SMA, and then continue going up. And when you can like I said, when you can successfully call that shit out, you're like, oh fuck, I think I'm getting in rhythm. I think I'm getting in sync with the chart. And sometimes
Yeah.
I'll be off with the chart, and sometimes you'll be up. But when you can call them out consistently, you're going to get better.
Yeah.
And it's going to help your trading all around, your emotions, your psychology, everything. Now, the next thing you have to write is all these FOMC minutes. I know sometimes people don't have the time or the thing, but maybe go back and review the YouTube video or the meeting notes. Like, what does Pal want to see? So like that, when the numbers come out, you kind of have a better gist of what the market psychology is going to be if the numbers
Right.
come out bad. If the numbers come out bad, then it should be good, right? If the numbers come out good, then it should be bad for the market, or vice versa. Writing down what Powell said he wanted to see is going to help you kind of dictate what the market should do when that data comes out the following month.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, keep up the good work, dude. I don't know if you have
Thank
any
you.
more trades.
Yeah, I've got more than I think we could do. I mean, this trade, this is my final runner. I had one left, and my target was actually all the way down to this anchor. For that's the anchor that lined up with a significant buy signal on SPY, and I was proud about that. I actually held it like all the way down there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Literally
right before I
tagged right there and
closed it.
bounce.
Yeah, it actually that was really crazy that day. I mean, I held it all the way to 150 points here to my target, right? And I already taken out a majority of the position. You know, this is just a runner. I took one out at the bottom of this candle. I took one out at the
Yep.
bottom of this candle. So just runners. And then yeah, I mean that must have been a good level because then the next 15-minute candle was a strong green. Um, yeah, strong green that bounced back all the way to my original take profit. So yeah, that's the end of that one. And then let's see, I've actually got a really really awesome trade on this day. This is another day I thought was short, and I actually got in near the top, and I had all these targets that were like 200 points away, and all of them hit. And that's like I really love just I do love I might be more of a short player. I don't know because I do love that when a short starts washing, you're getting these targets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this picture Pete posted. It's on my second monitor. The view apps always work. Okay, when they work. So instead, I could do one more trade if you got time.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Do open up the VLC so I can speed up. And that was actually out of all 4 days I mentioned, that day contained the only loss. Everything else is win except here. I'm going to show. Yeah, so I took a long here off of bottom up pre-market anchor. We broke the body of this 2-minute candle. I get in long here with far targets because it's bullish on the day. I thought this pre-market was incredibly bullish.
Well, this one can go all the way to here
Yeah,
first, but it has to get over these dojis. If it gets over the dojis, it'll go to that level.
makes sense. That's really
Hit that
helpful
doji,
for where
boom,
my
look at that.
target should be. It's very helpful for where my target should be. I'm going to pay more attention to these dojis, split candles. I take some more profit at my 2-minute top down, but I'm bullish on the day overall. You can see by the targets, I think we could go all the way up to these areas.
Mm-hmm.
Up 34 points. And this is just kind of a winner for a while, so I'm gonna skip forward. We got a target up
First
here.
target.
Lots of. Oh wait, actually, let's go back to this page that I snapped to. I think this will show my why. There we go. Why I was so bullish. Yeah, we had gapped up over this sell signal continuation. So I was looking for it to back test that and then continue squeezing.
Mm-hmm.
So that I really love the gaps over and under anchors. And you can see here's the pre-market. This is on SPY, this pre-market, but QQQ basically look the same.
Mm-hmm.
This just grind up, obviously a bullish pre-market. So that's why I was long off the pre-market bottom up. So
Nice.
yeah, I thank you because I'm really like I'm not, it's taking the wider stops and such, adding into the position is way really helping.
Nice. Yeah, because I know you said you wanted to add like Thomas who are add on the way up.
Some days I do. some days I do. Like actually, I was putting it in the chat, and I don't say it a lot, and I think, but on this day right here this week, once we got like here and we still didn't bounce much anymore, and I noticed that we're not even touching the -2 VWAP. Like we're doing all this grind and we're not even touching the -2 VWAP. At this point, I was like, this is just gonna keep going. Like we're gonna just grind further. And it's days like this that I do kind of want to be ready to add in. But I can't go and like add in and then get this happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not focusing too much on the adding in too hard for at least at like I can add in before my main targets get hit.
Yeah.
But after that, just runners. And this is actually a mistake I made here. Was at 29.20, so and we're only at 17.50. So I hit some more targets here. I'm looking to get back to this fib as well. This purple line is a fib, a daily fib. We pre-market started at the 161, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I think we can come up to touch the
100.
1. Yeah. So I'm ready to take some as soon as we kind of pop through. I'm also looking probably to get to this anchor. I don't remember what this anchor was, but I'm taking some more there. I think I end up reducing a bit. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward because the bad add-in that I wanted to cover is a good 8 minutes ahead. Yeah, so I got out a ton of targets here. I'm down to 1. And I'm like, maybe we keep going and just go crazy. So I just said, I can actually look at my entries and exits here. Yeah, so original position in here. Add here. Looks like I accidentally sold here. It's like in and out, but added here, sold the majority here, sold one here, added here.
Where are you
On
pointing at? I can't see.
can you not see they got these tiny arrows?
I see the arrows on the chart, but I don't see your mouse.
Oh, you don't see my mouse.
Are you
Okay.
on the video?
Yeah. So I mean you can see my
Yeah,
ads and
because I
stuff
see
though.
these right here, like these ads
Yeah,
right here.
exactly. So the first one you circled was my opening position, and then you can see I took the most out on those purple arrows between your red circles, the
Mm-hmm.
ones you didn't circle, and then I took some out right when it broke high a day. And then I added some, you see the rightmost ad, the blue
Yeah, that one.
giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I added there when that broke that doji. And I thought it was gonna squeeze further. And that was probably greedy, but a tight stop on it, and then took it out once it broke the high day, and then took these out here as well. So I thought this whole series, I'm saying this here as well as if you can see my mouse, but you can see
Yeah,
at
I
the
can see
high
it now.
here.
I can see that
Oh, now
also.
you
It's
can.
like you need to click on it or something.
Okay. Well, then you see these exits here. So I thought this was a
Yeah.
pretty good trade so far. And then come in the bad, ultra greedy add-ins.
Where up here?
Those were all outs. Not yet. I didn't add in up here. No, I didn't do that. I think, but I'm gonna fast forward and find. I'm
Do
gonna
you
be
see
embarrassed if
how
I
you
did.
get over this wick? We say if we get over that wick, it's gonna squeeze. Look at
Yeah,
nice little squeeze candle.
yeah, a good 40.
But then right here, look, first is a doji body, squeeze. Then it's this, squeeze.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, those are where the stops are at as well. What
So
did I
now you
do?
add here.
I add at right here.
Oh
I
yeah, I see
added
it
right
brought
here.
up.
Yeah, I added. I was
And
like,
it might
okay,
come
we
down all the
pop.
way to here.
Exactly. So I set my stop below this consolidation. I was like, one leg, two leg, let's get that third leg squeeze. Um, and I added in my original position was up to 10 and I was all the way down to 1 and then I added in 4 for the all the super consistent third leg. And then I mean it just stops me out. Nothing really. Nothing much else to it, I think. I think it pushes up a little bit.
But why did you get in? Just
And then
because
I
you seen that
move the
doji?
stop. And then I moved the stop. Yeah, I got in just because I saw this action here. It only really gave back half this body of the 2 minute, and then it couldn't get below that, and then it put in another doji, and I was like, I can. And I think this ad would have maybe been reasonable if I had put the stop at most like here
Yeah,
or
right
like
there.
here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But instead, which it was there originally, so it was being reasonable, but then I moved it to here to this candle, this big green candle, and if that gets broken, it's just gonna come all the way down to this next candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I moved my stop and then it just gets stopped out. And then I have my final piece here, and then I move that stop. I'm like, well, I plan on going pretty far up, so I might as well move that one. And it's funny because this is exactly what Waves I think was saying in the
No,
beginning of our
whiplash.
meeting. Is that's
Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Whiplash was saying at the beginning of the meeting. Is that once you start moving a stop, what's to stop you from continuing to do that? So I moved my add-in stop, and now I moved my original position stop, and I'll skip forward a little bit. I think I actually, yeah. So I moved the stop up. I finally was like editing a little preset ATM or whatever here. So I moved then. Oh, come on. So yeah, I got stopped out, and then here's also, and then I re-entered.
And then you try to get.
I tried again. I was like, well, now we've come so far down that and this is actually a bit of a reasonable position spot to open up based on the anchors, but not based on my other
Okay,
indicators.
man,
Like
right there. Yeah.
the 2 minute Mac is terrible. The 5 minute Mac just crossed. The 15 minute Mac is ready to cross. The 30 minute Stoke is at the top. The whole move played out. And then I tried to hold it. I moved my stop, and now I'm trying it again. And the only piece that I have of this puzzle is my 15 minute anchor. If you can see that off this doji 15, I have an anchor that came up and was right there. But none of the other indicators are really going for it. Like I didn't.
Well, that and your anchors are nowhere in. I mean, where's your anchor? Right
I've
here
got
only?
one. Yeah, this one off of that first 15 minute candle.
But then you gotta. Then what's this one?
Um,
What time frame?
these are 2 minutes. Yeah, 2. Right. So it broke my 2 minute anchor pretty hard. And I should have got out at the break of this one.
Mm-hmm.
The break and the close. I should have got out of everything and waited. And now I think this might have been reasonable to open up 1 out of 10, like a 10% position on the touch of my 15 minute anchor.
Mm-hmm.
But I opened up 3. And that's not right. I opened up 3 before I have any confirmation that this level is going to hold.
Yeah, you need to get a starter position.
Yeah, I didn't even get a start. It should have been a 1. It should have been 1 as a starter, but instead I open up 3, and then it comes down, and I'm pretty sure it stops out all 3, or it dodges my stop or whatever. But really, if I had been in 1, the stop wouldn't be this close. It would be below the low a day. If I was in 1, especially if I'm looking to get all the way back up here. But so since I'm over positioned for a starter position, then my stop is too close. And I think it like just barely dodges it.
Was that a green tray?
This one I'll
Right.
move forward 2 minutes. I actually don't remember.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so I waited. I actually once I got this action, then I had a tiny bit of confirmation, at least in like the structure. Once this one opened greens, then I added some there. Came up, hit a target, targeting the 2 minute top downs at least, which is right here on my 2 minute chart. So targeting those, looking to take out half the position there. Took out one at this candle, just to at least take one at where I think it could reject. But I'm looking to get the 2 minute top downs. Should
I
take
guess
two
those
more.
candles might reject it right there, or squeeze it. That was a pivot point.
Yep.
Squeezed it, so it should be make it up to here. Oh,
Yeah.
first,
I should
first
think
here,
about that.
first here.
As soon as that happens, that's when I should move my. Or no, I should think about that beforehand. Like from the bottom, I'm gonna put a target here. I'm gonna put a target right below this zone. Put a
Or not
target at the
even,
squeeze.
or not even put a target, but just be cognizant that sellers might come in there and create a lower high, right? Because it would have gone like this.
Yeah.
If it held below it, but if it smashes through it, then stay in. Okay, I need to go to this level. Is it gonna tag it and go down, or is it gonna blast through it? Oh, it blasted through it. Okay, now this level. And that's the way we have to look at these levels is okay, if it makes it past this level or holds above this level, then it can make it to the next level. But not until then. I can't look at making it all the way up to here until it makes it up through here and here.
Mm-hmm.
And that just depends on what strategy you're using. Some strategies will say just hold all the way to right here. Let it do all this and all this stuff, and then it'll go up. But honestly, I think the longer you're in a trade, the more probability that you have it going against you.
Yeah.
If you're in a trade and it goes for, I mean, unless you plan on holding and it's 200 points and you're up 100 points, and that's gonna pull back, go up, and do all this jazz, and then finally hit it.
Yeah.
So it just depends, but just be cautious around these levels because they could be potential hard rejections if you're
Makes
going long.
sense.
If you're going long.
And good place. It's like I'm trying to hold the trade for a long time, but I still do want to be
Hmm.
paying myself as
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, if you're trading with multiple contracts, for all means, if you can take profit there, take profit here, and if you want another one, take profit there.
Yeah. I just want it to be at least like so if I'm entering here, my position here, like I was saying earlier, I just at least want it to be 1-to-1 regularly. So
Hmm.
I'm not risking like too much. So there's that, which I did. So, and I'm gonna think about that as well, start I got my anchors as targets, but I should also really be aware of these dojis and squeeze points.
Yep.
So looks like this trade did end up green, although the entry not good. That not good for 3 position entry. Should have been 1. Um, that caused me to put my stop too close. Which isn't good. I think the add in was okay.
Hmm.
I should have taken a target there, and that's one of the things that I normally have a habit of, that I didn't do here because I was just typing away to take my recap picture. Is
Yeah.
it once it pushes fast to reject, I want to take those targets.
Yep.
Like I'm
And
not
that's
gonna.
exactly what I mean around these dojis. See how it
Yeah.
rejected hard?
Yup. Yup.
Then you got to be like, oh, shoot, it might create a lower high right here and go down.
Yup. You damn
And
right.
then you
Yep.
and then you could be like, okay, I'll cash out right here and then reevaluate, or maybe I'll take 75% there because it could continue down. I don't know. You have to develop that strategy on your own. I can't tell you what to do,
Yeah.
but I can provide you signals that could help you what to do. And
Right.
ultimately, it's your decision on what you're going to do.
Right. I mean, this helps right here. I got a good structure for, if I'm in like 5 MNQ, let's take one at relevant doji structure, take one at an anchor, take one at the next doji structure, take one
Uh-huh.
at the next anchor. You know what I mean? Just taking
Yeah.
profit on the way up at these
Yep.
appropriate spots. I mean, because that would have been perfect for it. Had some hesitation here, take one there, popped right through to my anchors, and then I should have taken one here, right? Because you're right, it rejected to the dot. So
Yep. You'll start to see it more, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shoot, those dojis
yeah,
are powerful."
yeah.
Ever,
The
ever,
respect
ever
to the
since,
doji.
ever since day one of the elites, it was all dojis, doji splits, high range candles, gaps, dojis, gaps, high range candle splits. Look for those candles.
Really?
And I finally, now I know what those high range candles. I could never like, okay, what's the importance of a high range candle? Well, looking at Danny Trade's style helped me find those candles. For the longest time, I would only do dojis. For the longest time, I wouldn't do splits or high range candles. I would only do dojis and gaps.
Right.
And now looking at other styles helped me develop the high range candle and the splits. And now I'm starting to see the importance of them and why Brandon had emphasized those 4 types of candles or gaps. Now it's starting to kind of make sense,
Yeah.
but sometimes it takes, and we had to learn that on our own. But now, well, hopefully we putting it together a little bit better and a little bit faster, so we
Oh
can
yeah, man.
get you up to speed that much quicker, that much faster.
Yeah, bro. This is 100% accelerating my learning. Like, if I do this all on my own,
Ouch.
I would not be moving as fast. Like, I think I'm hitting my 6 month goal of having this down. And it's gonna be constant improvement.
Yeah,
But
you'll still have it, but you're gonna be that much more ahead than most other new traders that didn't have the opportunity to team up with a group
yeah.
or a
I
battle
mean I
buddy.
yeah. I try to point people here, but everybody thinks every group is a scam because most of them are.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
I'm like, bro,
that's a
just go
sad
to this
part.
guy's Twitter.
That's the sad part. That's why I kind of like that guy that's calling out all these traders, and then I started thinking, well, everybody explains things differently, and if you look at ICT, like he's the one getting bashed a lot, right? He's like he's outed. He can never win a prop firm. He can never show profits and this and that. It's not about that. It's you see others that have taken his mentorship and been successful with it.
Yeah.
And you see it in multiple strategies. ICT, fair value, moving averages, fibs, the Keltners. Every strategy has a niche, and you just have to find that niche and stop hating on everybody. Just learn how to use that system and stick with that system, and it's gonna eventually work.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking to bash somebody and bash this group and bash that group, it's not even about that.
Right.
I respect where I started out. He helped me get into trading. It wasn't my style. I didn't really wasn't resonating with that style. It was a little bit slower. So I followed Connor, and Connor led me to Brandon,
Yep.
and now we're here. But you can't hate on other people. It's just you resonated with the Anchor VWAPs, helps you look at the chart better. You're using other indicators, and
Yeah,
there's
the VWAPs.
every everybody's going to resonate with something different,
Yeah.
and you're going to, if you stick with that strategy, you're going to be more ahead than if you try to strategy hop or or don't have somebody to kind of help you through.
Right.
I'm glad that you're gaining value from this. And now you got to pass that forward and teach somebody, or just post them on YouTube. Somebody will run into it and you know, start following you and asking you questions and help you learn your
Right.
strategy deeper.
Right. And then they'll join here. Hopefully.
Yeah,
I think the more people that are successful at this, the better.
yeah, exactly. We'll take out the market makers. Nah, we'll never do that. But hey, at least we can go to war together and hopefully pull some money out of the market.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole plan is to pull that money out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good.
Cool. Well, we'll cut it there, and then next week, just keep on trading. Let's see if you can keep track of how many short plays you have, and then how many
Yeah.
long plays you have. See if we can find out what you're better at.
I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. Sounds great. Thanks for the help as always.